Good evening, Carlos.
Hello, Treb. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you. And thank you for communicating with me tonight.
Yes, it is a great excitement of mine to communicate with you. As you are most likely aware, the host has had me reach out into consciousness to connect to another entity that is very close to you, let us say, within the Oversoul. One that is of a reptilian entity. Um, so if you wish to experience this entity whenever you are ready, you may begin.
Okay, excellent. I was wondering if I had some questions for you, Treb, first. Is that okay? Can we do that and then connect?
Yes,
Okay.
the idea is that my consciousness is projected into a separate way than the average times that I am usually connecting, because I am being used as more of a telephone instead of an energetic connection. But if there is any ideas that I may assist you with, I will try to connect to this idea.
Okay, great. Uh, basically, we had my son had a very general question that he was wondering if I could ask you, and I was wondering if you could share with us in our planet and our solar system here, which of the planets have life in them?
In the way that you are describing life, are you speaking of the human definition and standard of life, as in second density or higher?
Second density or higher, something similar to the life forms that we know, I guess. But if
Yeah,
there's astral forms or ethereal forms, that counts too.
yes. If you are looking at not the first density but second above, there are what you say to be second density entities residing upon every planet and almost every moon. The idea of Mercury is a very simplistic style of bacteria. Within the Venus structure, there are many entities, even very small. Um, Let us express it is not truly um, an entity that you would perhaps perceive as a very complex animal, but it is much more complex than that of the average single cell or bacterial forms. Within this, even in some aspects, previous in the time of the history, very complex animals within this. Within the third planet, you are well aware of the vast amount of life that exist upon the plane of this. Within the fourth planet that you know as Mars, there is a very simple bacterial life, as well as very simple plant life, as you would see this, as well as very many small, complex style of animals, that of the size of a small dog to smaller entities. There are
Oh,
very many bacterial styles that are very deep into the soiled area of this. Um, if you are going past this, Jupiter, there is very many bacterial style of entities that reside in the atmosphere. Um, Not in the very top layers, but as you are going down, where the temperature becomes approximately 150 of your degrees, there is a small amounts of several kinds of bacterial entities. Um, Within the moons of this, all of the major moons are having the similar bacterial. Uh, Within the IO area, there is more complex that you would see as multicellular, but not in the idea of complex as you would see in animal. Um, Saturn is the same idea. It is less deep in the layers of gas in which these entities occur. Within the moons, the one that tends to have the atmosphere within this. There are many very complex bacteria that are growing deep in the soil, as well as some on the liquid methane. There is also entities in all of the rest of these planets, from Uranus, Neptune, again into the atmosphere. There are bacterial all the way up to multicellular, and in all of the major moons. If you are seeing a moon as a rock that's going around, this would include several billion from Saturn, which not all of these have, but many of them do. It is depending on these definitions that you see, but All of the major moons have specific styles of entities, some that are not perceivable as bacterial existences.
I see. So there is nothing resembling our human physical manifestation in any of them.
I'm not a physical human. In the Mars area, there once was entities who resembled humans, the same as in Venus. Um, the most complex life that you would see in any of these, excluding the Earth, happens to be in the Jupiter moon that has iciness. There are very many entities that are Aquarius styles of entities that reside in the water. I believe this would be called Europa in your
Uh-huh.
terminology. Uh,
Yes.
yes, there are many of these very complex second densities. There is many existences also in the Martian area. There is what you say to be vibrational residue. This is not full consciousness entities, but it is higher density residue of entities that once resided there in this energy is able to manifest itself outward as if it is playing in a loop, uh, such as you are playing a VCR with it continued from A to B and then rewinding itself. This energy is being played over and over again in a 1200 year cycle.
Oh, okay. And you mentioned there were some that were like small animals. Were they what were they physical? Were they and where was that?
The animals that you see in the Martian area, these are uh, visible to your own eye. They are second density consciousness, which means that they are equivalent to the animals on your planet. They are on the same vibrational level. So you would be able to walk upon Mars and to experience them. Many of them do not live upon the surface. They are burrowing animals. So they would appear much as the size of a very small dog or a very large cat entity. This would be the largest and most complex.
Let's see. Are these remnants of when there was a civilization with uh, human types on Mars?
This is what you would say to be the late ancestors of the second density entities who resided on these.
Okay.
Not any evolved or third density style entities.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Thank you for that. Let me ask you
Yes.
one more thing. The last time, the last session, maybe a couple of things that we had, we spoke about three human entities that had passed that were still around me. And I asked if one of them was Henry, and you confirmed that Henry was a representation of one of them. And I wanted to see if you could tell me more on those three.
I would have to refocus this energy. Perhaps this would take away the connection.
Okay.
As I am focused now, I would be able to essentially let you speak directly to this entity. But if I must refocus this, then perhaps I would have to relay this
Okay.
information, and in translation could be lost.
Very good. So we'll save that then.
Yes,
Okay. Excellent. We can proceed then with the communication. I wanted to confirm the name.
yes. And what name do you have as a representation?
I've been receiving the name Meeldareezff.
Yes, this is very close to the idea of
It
the
is.
entity. Yes, it is very difficult to translate this tongue to a human version. Perhaps you would see it to be pronounced as meal.
Miel?
Yes, as the food that you would eat. This is the very first syllable.
Oh, I like honey. Okay.
Yes, meal.
Very good. Well, I
The
was close then.
the second syllable is dar.
Dar.
Yes.
Ah, so Meeldar.
The third syllable is
A
ease, like two e's and a z.
Z. A's.
Yes, so it would,
Meeldars. Oh,
but
okay.
also there is an F on the end of this, a double F. So perhaps it would be pronounced Meeldareezff.
Meeldareezff. So I think I have the last part incorrectly. Is it AZF?
It would be Meeldareezff, but if you are pronouncing it more speedily, it would be Meeldareezff.
Meeldareezff. So the last, how would you describe the last letters? How would they go?
If I were to use a spelling of the English language, the way I would spell this in its entirety would be M with two E's,
Yes,
with one L,
yes,
with one D,
yes,
with one A,
yes,
with one R,
yes.
with two E's,
Two E's. Okay.
with
Yes,
one Z,
yes.
and with two F's.
At the end, two F's.
Yes! This,
Meeldareezff.
yes!
Oh, no, what? Okay. That's very close.
Yes, it is very, very close to the idea of the energy that is being represented.
Excellent. Well, that's very encouraging because I was trying to not. Excellent. Very good to know I got so close. Okay, so we did have a connection.
Yes, it is a very great connection to the portion of Oversoul.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, and once you are ready to connect, I will transfer this entity through the consciousness of the host.
I am ready.
Yes, one moment, please.
Thank you. Meeldareezff. Meeldareezff.
Greetings.
Hello. How are you?
I am well. Is this Carlos?
This is Carlos, and this is a real pleasure to communicate with you.
Yes, it is very exciting for me too.
That is so great. Could you just so we start out from my point of view the right way? Would you mind telling me your name, how you say it?
It's pronounced Meeldareezff.
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 Meeldareezff. Excellent, excellent. Well, what a pleasure to communicate with you, Meeldareezff.
Yes, it is very exciting for me as well.
I was curious how this came about. My friend Awaken showed me the drawing, and I recognized you right away. Did you somehow appear to her so she would draw you, and somehow I would get the drawing?
There are many of the ones that you are connected to that we are also connected to.
Ah, excellent, excellent. So that's how it came about that the drawing got to me.
I would suggest that this is very close to the way.
Okay, excellent, excellent. How could you tell me a little bit how do we know each other? How long?
We are a part of the same soul. And TReb would say that this is a oversoul, and it's a very large part of many pieces. And we are both one part of the big piece. This is
Understood.
something that we have been able to connect with since your birth.
Excellent. Since this birth and this
Since,
lifetime,
yes,
but we know each other from other lifetimes.
the portions that we are don't extend past where we are now. The only portions that we are connect now. All other portions are presented in different ways.
Could you tell me a little bit more?
And what idea do you wish to expand on?
As you were explaining that the other portions are represented in different ways.
Yes, they are all different in different ways, different times, different expressions of our own selves. All of them are us. All of them are the same as we are, but they are being played out throughout different existences. One of them is a farmer in the Earth period. Others are farmers on other planets well into the future. Our soul has many portions, and they are all spectacular, but they are not the same as we are. They are only different expressions.
Understood. Understood. How interesting. And I see, I see. So, huh, I know I was a reptilian manifestation in other lifetimes. Do we know each other from those lifetimes too?
There's lifetimes that we can tap into now, and this is more understanding of our connections behind us. Even though you see that time lies behind you, these past lives that you see, these past lives that you experience, aren't really yours. They are the soul's overalls, and that's the expressions that are playing out in other areas that we just talked about. All of these things, they're not truly past lives, only ourselves playing a new game.
Oh, thank you for that explanation. That is a really good explanation. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I appreciate it. How how far? First, let me ask you. We did have a communication a few days ago. Is that correct?
Yes, we've had communications millions of times.
Excellent, excellent. As you know, from our perspective in the human condition, the mind gets confused sometimes, and it becomes hard to tell if it's part imagination or if things are really happening, and we confuse ourselves.
Oh, yes. Feeling the energy of this vessel um, reminds me more of this.
Oh, so I'm so glad that you confirmed that for me. For now, I know I even had your name very close written down. So when you gave it to me, of course I was close in what I was receiving. So I was very pleased to see that your name is very close to what I had written down.
Oh, yes, your energy perceptions are very great. There's some things that cloud this sometimes, and the more wavy the energy becomes, the more complex the connection process is to each other. Information can be lost in these waves, but when the waves become smooth, um, the waters that you have, the lakes, the crystal clear, non moving waters, when it becomes like this, then these connections are so much better.
What suggestions would you have for me to improve our communication?
Just to relax, just to enjoy the idea of connecting. Do not think anything. Be excited, but don't bring your human definition of excitement. Excitement is having great energy in the time, but not becoming worried of the outcomes, not worrying of all these other things that shouldn't try to be controlled. All of the sounds around you, all of the things that interact with your sensory systems. All of these things are irrelevant. The only thing that is relevant is knowing that you are me, that we are connected already, that you must only perceive this and allow yourself to remove all of the doubts, all of the waves in this ocean, all of the things that conflict with who you truly are.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for that.
Yes,
It it really resonates. Yeah. Is there so since we have such a close connection, is there something where I would be able to channel you if I wanted to do so?
yes, in ways you already are, in ways when you communicate and your eyes close and you are part of your own self, when you are being more of you. We are still here with you, not just me, many parts of you, many parts. But if you wish to express yourself truly with a connection of myself, this must be a center focus. The idea that many use on your planet is meditations with visualizations. And these visualizations can be very important tools. I know that this vessel uses many in his own work, that TReb has explained that that is how it is done with him. So if you wish to put the energy that I am exuding now through this vessel's body, the energy that you feel when you are connected directly to me,
Yes.
make this an imprinted memory, not the communication, but the energy that itself. and make this an imprint in your mind. Feel this energy. Feel how you are expressing your own self now. Feel how this love from both of us is connecting. Remember this energy and then visualize any representations of this energy to each other.
Yes, and this energy feels very, very familiar.
Yes, it is as we are both home now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I didn't know how to explain it, but that is a great explanation. That's a great explanation. And I have felt your energy, obviously, during the communications. They're becoming more. It seems like recently, I'm more sensitive to the energies and to the communication that I receive.
Yes, it is your expressions of other parts of you becoming more clear. Look to the Meeldareezff. I believe that's the name that your planet designates our star. Look to Meeldareezff. Look at the energy. Look at the pictures of this. Look at the sky and point to Meeldareezff. Feel that energy. Integrate it into your symbolisms.
Moon Leporis. Okay. What
This is Mu.
Mu?
Yes, the Greek pronounce. I'm not sure the name. It is an alphabet of Greeks.
Okay. Muluporis. I will look it up. Is there a name for your planet?
What we call this?
Yes.
Yes, it is Aquat.
Quat?
Aquat.
Aquat.
Yes,
AQAT, say, for example, in our language.
this would be the perfect way I would spell this.
Aquat. Excellent. And is there a name for the civilization?
Yes, for our people there are. This is Aquata Lanzim.
Oh, what a great name. I like that name.
Yes,
Must resonate with me because it sounds familiar.
because it
Aquata?
is home. Yes, it is Aquat Lazim.
Aquat. And then separated out Lazim.
Aquata and then Lanzim.
Lanzim.
Yes, this is perfect.
What a great name. Aquata Lanzim.
The way that you
That's
are speaking it is very perfect. It resonates with me, makes me
ah,
feel more home.
yeah. Well, it's certainly stirring up something in me. Something's really resonating, and it all sounds very familiar. And
Feel
how?
a
Go ahead.
visualization, feel a specific symbolism in a rabbit.
In a rabbit.
Yes, this is a symbol that was given to man for the area of stars in your sky.
That is amazing. I have had an unusual number of rabbits appearing all around me lately.
They are too connecting to home.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, this is fascinating. How far away is Aquat from here?
If you use your standard of measurements, it's
Yes,
217 of your light years.
217 light years. Wow.
Yes.
How how would I be able to visit the planet?
If you are able to adjust your soul and make it leave the physical vessel, are you able to do this yet?
I have been working on astral traveling. Yes, I have been able to do it. I'm trying to do it consciously.
When you are in the state before you release this consciousness, again, use the symbolizations, use the rabbit, use the star, look to Lu, Mu, Leporis in your own place. Look to this star, you will see it. Even though it's very difficult to see um, compared to many of the other stars in major areas of your planet where lights are bright and it takes away from the shining, it is more red than blood itself.
Oh, is there any particular shape to the constellation?
This is the rabbits that we
The
speak of.
rabbit. I knew you were going to say that.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So I'll need to look for that. Do you have any suggestions for me to help me with the astral traveling?
To remind yourself to put this indent of energy into your mind, of the connections that we have, the same as if you were reaching to channel, to indent this feeling, to put this into the memory banks of not your mind but your heart, to remember this, to use the visualizations. You already are very aware of our physical appearances. Use anything that you can to symbolize in your meditative state. Also, in astral projection, do the same thing. Put your intent into visiting, to seeing us physically, and it will excite you so greatly.
Yes, it is. It's very very exciting just to think about it.
Yes,
It's okay. Okay. It's all right. Well, that is a very good suggestion. I've been working on improving the astral travel, and also I'm working on channeling more, going from just writing information to be able to directly channel it, like
the,
we've been doing. It's just that I don't have all the memories. As you
there's
know, the human condition limits that.
yes, but there's one thing in you. It's the barrier of language. You see language as a very important part of communication. You see it as essential. Many humans do. Start looking upon your fellow humans. Start reading them without the mouth words, without speaking verbally. Watch their bodies' languages. Understand what these non speaking communications mean. Look into everything, even to the animals. Notice the way they stand when they are angry. Notice how they look when they are happy. All of these non-verbal, ingrain more of it into your own consciousness. And this will help remove some of this communication process blockages that many of you have.
That is very good. That is very good. Is does it would changing the diet or making the diet lighter help in some respects?
Yes, the physical body being at full processing ability is always helpful to communications, but it does not mean that you can't without doing this either. It can be done both ways, but much easier. When you see the color of green, this follows a symbol in your own self too. All of these green vegetables, they are very green for a reason, because they align well to the chakra in your hearts.
That's why I've been getting these very strong messages about green, green, eating green. I should just eat green and concentrate on green.
Yes,
Was that you sending that, or is that just the way it is?
it is part from me. Yes,
That is excellent. Well, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
I am
How?
very happy to do this because I know that if we communicate in a way that's more comfortable for you, this can mean much growth within you too. I am happy in communicating in all ways. I am able to experience this communication, whether it's very small or very large. Both of these seem very extraordinary, but many humans I see, their want to communicate through words is very strong. It's very, very strong. It makes them sometimes lose focus of communication in the first place. And this is why it's always suggested to remove the importance of verbal communication in your daily life. And this will lessen um, the resistance in communicating outward.
I see. By focusing inward, it will improve our communication.
Oh, yes. This is how it has always been.
That's okay. Okay. It feels really good talking to you, by the way. I feel very uh, like a very knowing energy, like very comfortable. So,
Very
so
much at home.
yeah,
We both
I,
seem to be.
yeah. What what uh, what similarities do we have? Do we have similar personalities? Obviously, you're in a more advanced version of than us humans.
No, we are not more advanced. We only see from a different view. Advancement is not something that any of us truly do. We experience.
But you have a wider perspective than I do as a human, correct?
I would not say it's wider, I would say it's lighter.
Lighter.
Yes.
It's not as blocked by your own thoughts.
It tends to be much easier. We do not be so hard on ourselves.
Yes, that is something that uh, I don't know if I imagine we chose this particular personality before coming here to learn some lessons, but it's very challenging at times to understand why we chose it.
It's because it requires a specific um, encounter with your own self. It is only one way of expressing yourself. Just as all of our pasts and all of the futures are expressed in different ways, so is this idea, so is this hardship. It's only one expression, but it is a very, very beautiful one if you cannot see it to be a painful or struggling thing. When you can see it from a soul's perspective, the glee that it has and the joy that it brings is so exciting. It's exhilarating to see this.
I can hear the joy in your voice. Yes, it is. It is, and it's sometimes as humans, I particularly wish there was a way to have more memories, to remember more. But I understand that it's part of the process, and that's how I'm going to learn the lessons. As you said, facing myself is the way to that we're going to get ahead.
Yes,
So I take on the challenge.
and I am there to assist you in your challenges if you are willing to open yourself for help this way.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes. I was going to ask you if you were willing or interested, or and we had a way to do that to be more in touch, and if I could impose on you, for lack of a better word, with asking for advice or suggestions or a wider view at times.
There are systems that you can build. It's an idea of your own self, programming the specific way to connect to me. You have felt this energy and it's exciting. And as I've said, there are many symbolisms that that you can use now, that you should use more than the others. And you know which ones resonate with you most. So use these symbolisms and this energy. This can help you connect to me, even if you're not aware. Even if you don't feel this connection, I am still there. I can assist you in ways, even if you're not able to perceive me. I am still there with you all of the time.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yes,
Are there others with you now?
in a physical sense,
Yes. Are there other beings around you now?
yes.
Ah, uh, give me an idea how many?
We are 1,000, at least 1,000, approximately 1,072.
Participating in this communication?
We are all on the ship together.
Oh, you're on a ship right now.
Yes,
Oh, how exciting. Have I been on that ship before?
in an astral state or dream state, you have been
Yeah,
there many times.
I thought so. And why is it that I cannot remember when I wake up then?
You are remembering when you see the pictures.
Yes. Ah, I see. I see. I see.
Remind yourself to remember that when you are sleeping, you only forget what you believe you don't need to know. Remind yourself that you need to know this, that you need to remember more often, more connection. If you specifically see my own self in the visualizations, if you see the energy, if you remember this, if you look at these symbolisms, the rabbits, the skies, the Laporises, all of these things will help you integrate in the sleep state. And an excitement before a sleep state will always help you remember it.
Excellent. Excellent. I will certainly be doing that.
Many
Are you?
humans do not excite themselves about sleep.
Oh, I'm very excited when I go to sleep because I look forward to the memories that I have being on spaceships. As you know, I have contacts with the Yael also with my hybrid children, and I've had some memories when I saw your drawing that my friend Awakened did immediately. I recognized you. So that is when you're right. When I see the drawings, brings back the memories.
Yes, so you are remembering, just not at the capacity that you want. This
That's
comes
it.
the more you are willing to accept the communications in a way in your own self, the more that you will learn to accept the communications from sleep states, from all states.
Great. Well, this makes going to sleep even more exciting.
Yes, and this is what I hope you do. I hope you
Excellent.
become very excited in the sleep.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So maybe even tonight, and I can visit you tonight. Then I'll look forward to that.
Yes, every night is a great visiting time.
Excellent. So the before what I've been doing, and perhaps you may be able to give me some help on this. Before going to sleep, is I've developed an exercise where I go through my chakras, starting from the lower one all the way through my solar plexus to my heart to my throat, and then I focus my energy on my third eye chakra. I build it up there, and then I release it through my crown chakra just as I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yes, this is very good. But if you are able to try an adjustment with the complete focus on the third eye, this will help the visualizations from non physical body to the physical body. The crown chakra, this allows you to leave physical, this allows you to connect without physical, but the third eye is a help connecting physical to non physical.
So I shouldn't release it on the crown. I should hold it in the third eye.
Concentrate and try this for 3 evenings. If it does not work in that small time, it will not work completely. But this is a suggestion.
Yeah. So please tell me the method then. Do I just send all the consciousness directly to the third eye and just focus there and build it there?
Yes, if you're able to do this, if you can't without going through these steps from the first to the second to the third, it's up to you and how you do this, but it's preferred that it stays in the third.
Okay. So is there any particular circumstance or application where I would release it on the crown chakra?
After 3 days and you become tired of trying the new way.
Well, but if it's working on the third eye, I will continue doing that.
Yes, and this would be very, very exciting. A remembrance,
Oh, excellent. Oh, great. This is great.
a
This is
feeling of
great.
being home.
Yes, this is great. This is great. How, so where is your ship right now?
We are not truly traveling through. Um, the way we travel is a bit different. When we go through, we don't go through space. We come from one side to the next, and we are all loaded up, ready to transport. We almost focus our consciousness into the ship so that it may move instantly, and we are ready to go.
I see. I see. So, okay. Of course, it's a concept that I'm trying to imagine, but I think I get the idea. Basically, you decide on coordinates of where you want to be, and you manifest yourself there.
Yes, it's understanding from this vessel information and from TReb that TReb has described it in a way, and I wish to share this way he describes this.
Yes.
If the consciousness is an integer or a complete math problem, a solution or a large problem, if you're going through all of the letters and numbers, space is only one part of this problem. So if you remove this integer, if you remove this one number and change it, then you're able to change the locations. Consciousness is a large math equation, and once you change the one space integer, you change physical.
Excellent. That is a very good explanation.
That's a simple way that he is able to describe it. We are not as advanced in consciousness as TReb's race, as you would probably see this with technology. And this is why we must lend so much of our own consciousness uh, to the actual equipment.
Very interesting. Because we're a long ways from that technology here. Very interesting.
Not as far as you might think.
You're really well. At least we're not aware of it.
Yes, first is being aware of oneself, and then these things fall into place. You are less than 200 years away from this if you continue going in the same way.
Is there a way at presently that I could um, apply some of that as you're describing? Because I imagine the way you described space, you can also apply that to a location if you yourself wanted to be somewhere else.
Yes, it applies with time, it applies with space, it applies in all of these. In the when you become more acquainted to the fourth density structure, you will see that time is only a place. It's only an integer in the problem. And once you do this, then you are able to exchange not just the space or areas, but time too. And then you are able to adjust it much, much more easily. The way that you can practice this is visualization techniques. The third eye is very important to build, and this is why visualizations become so important.
Yes, I have been trying to improve my visualizations, and they happen randomly. I will think of something, and then I will forget it, and an image will appear on what I was thinking earlier. For
Yes,
for example, I was able to see my Yael daughter that way through some exercise of visualization, where I was looking at her and I, visualizing her and I sitting at a chair from a distance, and suddenly I got a visual picture of exactly what she looked like, which is very interesting exercise. I still not quite sure how it works.
yes. When you focus the energy, just as if you are going to bed, using this in a meditation will help strengthen this too. If you can feel all of these chakras at once, then you are able to move them from one to the other. Putting it in the third eye, helping along these lines will help very greatly. But there are also emotional things that affect this as well. It is when you are learning new things, learning at a high rate, and you become discomforted with the knowledge that you have. Um, you don't know. It is an imbalance being upset if these things you are learning are true or not. And the more that you dwell upon if this is right, if it is not, throw away these ideas. Only know what resonates and what doesn't. If it does not, then you throw it away. And people hold on to these things because they read it in a book and they love this author of this book, or they hear it from an entity who is channeled, and they love this entity, so they will hold on to this. They hold on to it very tightly, even though it doesn't resonate. And these things can help assist blockages in the third eye also.
Meeldareezff is like you know us better than we do.
I am you, only expressed differently.
That is great. It's exactly what I go through too. What you
Yes,
just described.
yes, this is very similar to the ways I experience you.
Uh, right now, besides, of course, this communication, that I feel like we're brothers. We're obviously the same energy. Do I have any interaction with your civilization, or you with the humans, in the sense, for example, a relationship like I have with the Yael, where I have family there? Is there a similar thing with your civilization, or is it different?
It's not in a physical sense.
I see.
It
I
is on a
see.
spiritual, it's on a soul sense. Um, Treb describes to me that the time for the physical body to be alert and awake is becoming much lower.
Ah, interesting. I was asking that question because in one of my talks with Treb, he explained to me that I do have offspring in a couple of reptilian civilizations.
Yes, not in a physical sense with us. Um, the physical body that I mean is the vessel's body. It is becoming more drained, so the time that we have to communicate is getting lower.
I understand now. I understand what you're saying. Okay,
Yes,
very good. Well, I would. Uh, this has been just wonderful. I feel like I'm talking in a sense to myself. It's great. I feel your energy loud and clear. If there's any suggestions, anything you can share with me, I would certainly appreciate it.
yes. One thing that I want to share with you is as you walk down the street, becoming more aware of these non verbals communications. I want to have you immerse yourself, if you are willing, if you wish
Yes.
to experience, into a full set time period, whether it's hours, days, or weeks, whatever you may afford yourself, to not communicate with anyone verbally, to only communicate with them in a physical sense, to see what they are speaking about. When they are speaking, see how their body moves, but don't listen to the words. When you communicate, use as much uh, body movements as you can. Use as little voice as you can. If you can use none, use this. This will help integrate more of that into yourself.
Excellent. So use more facial expressions as a response, as an acknowledgement, and try to avoid using words.
Yes, if there's um, books about the way physical people move, learn all of these things. The vessel seems to think there is many things written about physical language of bodies.
Yes. Yes.
Read these things, become well acquainted, and then use what you have learned on your experiences. When you speak to people, speak from these body languages. Know what they are saying from their hearts and not from their mouths, as you understand more than many that most do not speak from the heart through their mouth.
Yes. Yes. Excellent. And this, of course, will result in evolution of my telepathy.
Yes, it'll make uh, the language centers not so important, which can help allow channeling much easier, verbally channeling.
Great. This is great. Great information. Uh, is there anything else?
I I believe it's time for me to have to leave, but I want to tell you how much that I love you.
The same. Thank you. I feel the same way. I send you all my love. And as a last thing, please help me pronounce your name correctly. Meeldareezff.
Yes, it is very close. It is Meeldareezff.
Dars. The end is what I have trouble with. Meeldareezff.
Meeldareezff. It is.
Meeldareezff.
It's a sound that is not common in humans.
Right.
It is Dars.
Dars. Meeldareezff.
Yes,
Great. Excellent, Meeldareezff. It's been a pleasure.
it's been a very excitement, and I
The
am so
same.
glad to be at home with you.
The same here, and I look forward to visiting you tonight, and I will try to remember when I come back.
I will be there waiting too.
All right. Well, a big hug, brother.
I will see you soon.
All right. All my love, Meeldareezff. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you as well, Carlos.
Pleasant journey.
Yes. The host body is becoming more physically tired, and this is
Yes.
the idea of changing out consciousness from the host to me and now to disconnect. But I wish to express to you before it's disconnected that I wish to experience you also into this meditative state. So when you are willing to call upon the energy of me, perhaps I will be able to assist with your connection to Meeldareezff. If you allow this, I would like to be a co-creation of this, to be experienced with both of you connecting.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, of course. I thank you so much for establishing this connection for us. Obviously, we definitely know each other, and I felt the energy. So, Trev, I'm very, very grateful for this. And yes,
Yes,
anytime we will set it up because your energy is a very pleasant, enjoyable energy. So, by all means, thank you.
yes, and thank you as well. And I wish to express my own gratitude to you for connecting and sending great amounts of love. And I will experience you or speak to you again very soon.
Thank you, Trev. Until the next one.
Yes, good night.
Good night.